All right, welcome everyone to our webinar. This one will be fairly short. We're going to review some recent new features and then obviously open up for questions. I first want to plug our Facebook Q&A group, and let me go ahead and share my screen. And the reason I say that is in the Q&A group after the user retreat, we put in voting for new features. And so we based some of the new features that we're going to present today, actually, most of these based on the voting. And then in general, this is where we will post new features once we have them out. And in theory, you can also ask questions here. And we've had a couple people ask questions, and we'd love that for that to be a place where people can ask questions about action flow. So I put the link into the chat, and then I'll also have that available when I launch the recording. Okay, so let me go through our new features. First, we have if you're in the area list, we now have the ability to go in an area module. You can go from one area to the next using these arrows. So I have one area here that's 2229, and then there's 2725. And if you click next area, it'll take me to 2725 and back again. So that's minor, but if you have a lot of areas and you are kind of quickly running through them, that's a nice way to be able to quickly switch between them without having to exit out and come back into your other area. Next, I will show you in slab details. So I'm going to expand this. I have slab details already opened up down here. And so again, if I want to get there from the area module, I'll go up to this left big blue box. I can close slab details, and then it makes our the area where we're editing the drawing bigger. And then if I click open slab details, this shows the slabs associated with the job. So a couple of things here is, first, if I select this slab and I want to duplicate it, I can put the number of duplicates I want in here and click duplicate slab. And so people requested this, especially in regards to large commercial jobs. And so it makes it a lot easier than having to click one at a time. So you, again, would select the slab, put the number of duplicates, and then click duplicate slab. Another thing I want to point out in here is if I have a remnant, and I can tell this is a remnant because remnant is checked, that remnant is now highlighted. So you might not notice the check over here. So now it's highlighted. Another way to tell remnants is it'll have the dash and then a number because it's based on the original slab 1054, and then it's a remnant. So that's another minor new feature. And if you're just joining, the other new feature I just described was if you're up an area number and you want to go from one area to the next, you can click these two arrows and it'll take you from one area to the next. Oh, no, okay, we don't have a question. Let's see, next, remnants, DoNows. I'm going to exit out of the area module and go down into our actions. I'm going to add a new action. And it doesn't matter what it is. Make a grade estimate. If I check this as urgent, and then I set it to myself, urgent do now actions. If I now open my do now list, it's a lot more obvious that they are urgent. So they go to the top of your list and now they're highlighted as bright red. Urgent do now actions. Holidays, this was one a lot of people requested. So I'm going to go to administration. And then we're in enterprise, and then I'm going to go to the bottom and go over to schedules. And then in the bottom right, you can add your holidays in. So this is an administrative function, and you can add in holidays. One quick way to add in holidays is if you click the Select Federal U.S. Holidays button, and then you can click a certain holiday. So this is 9/4/2023. Oh, that one we already have there. MLK Day, okay. And then it'll add that. Right now, we do only have U.S. holidays. So we apologize for our clients abroad with that. But yeah, right now we have U.S. holidays. I can just manually add a holiday. So I just click the plus button, and so you can see holidays here. I'm going to click the calendar and set this to 8/4. So I now have a holiday on 8/4, and I'm going to go up to my home and then go to scheduler. And I think I might have jumped ahead there earlier. So I'm now looking at August 4th, and we now have a holiday. I'm currently looking at the Fab scheduler, and this is just to show that if I now go back into my customer and I add an install, let's add the install for August. Let's try 16th. And then if I schedule the fabrication, this will just show that we automatically, oh, I scheduled it too far ahead, didn't I? It should be. Yes. I would like to move the link job action. So this is perfect. I want the finish, edge, and saw to go back as well. So now we can see the second, the third, and is when our saw and edge, and then it jumps over to finish. So on the scheduler specifically, it knows to not schedule. Yeah, we have the saw, edge, and then it puts the finish on Friday. So it knows to not schedule on holidays. So yeah, that's another minor point, but it's important because you don't want to schedule on a holiday if it's already scheduled with those auto actions. And then in general, we updated the look of the scheduler in a way that we hope is a little bit easier to navigate. So you can let us know, in the chat, or ask your account manager if you have any questions about where anything went. But we do hope that it's actually more intuitive now. So yeah, if you have questions on that, I guess the big thing we did add was the ability to search for either a customer or a job in these two search bars. So this is the job that you're scheduling. So specifically right now I'm looking at this 1558 A customer. So I could pick a different customer to schedule. And then also if I was looking for a specific job, I could, this is how you schedule, and then this is how you search. So if I was looking for a specific person, that could take me back to that job. So this is the search, and this is the select job to schedule. And then you can look at both by searching for both customer and job. The other two things that I want to mention, this is was something we realized maybe we should have done a while ago, but you can now see more than 3 users in this administrative field. It's the same with roles. So if you have a lot of roles, so it's just, we've added this pull down bar so you can more easily see your users and roles. And the last big thing we want to mention for administrators is the fact that in this user grid, you can scroll to the right and see the version that your users have installed. And this is important because if someone says, hey, I have my area module's not working, it may have been because we put out a new version. And so we often recommend that one of the first things you can check if you're having issues is to make sure your version's updated. And a lot of these users in our demo account are clearly outdated. A lot of these aren't real. So our users would have a lot of problems, and we would recommend the entire company go through and update. Because if I look in this top left, I can see the current version is 4.1392. So we should be on 392, and you can see looks like we've got one. That's me. So yeah, very, very few of these users in this demo account are on the current version. So that's important to know what version you're on. So I know we had a couple people join us. This is a quick webinar, and I'll be sure to post the recording. But here are the features that we reviewed. We looked at area switching, so the ability to switch between areas from within the area module. We have a way to view multiple users in the administrative tab. I just showed you that. Duplicate slabs in the area module. So that means if you have one slab and you want to add, 5, it's a lot easier now instead of having to click manually to add a new slab. We have remnants now highlighted in the slab details. Urgent DoNow actions. If you create an action and you want that to be urgent in DoNow list, it's now highlighted red. Holidays and holidays are not anything automatically scheduled will not be put on a holiday. The fact that in the scheduler you can find job and customer and then ensure you have different versions across your users. So those are the features we reviewed. I will be putting out this recording, so if you missed it or if you're just joining us, I'll have the recording out in the next couple of days. This one should be short. And I also, again, want to plug our Facebook user group, because in the Facebook user group, after the user retreat, this was where we had voting for new features. So that might be a place in the future where we'll put out ideas for new features, and you can vote there. And then we often announce new features in here. And it's also a place to ask questions from other Action Flow users. So that Facebook group, you can request to join it. And I put that link in the chat. I'll let you know when there's another webinar. Thanks for joining us.